Hello. We have returned from the grave. Did a little outbreak too earlier today. Pretty close to finishing that. Honestly, there are a couple screens. Shame we couldn't put it together, but it's bullshit. But we will continue that maybe tomorrow. Had my dinner for the night, so we're gonna continue Miserere something. I don't remember if I had the volume a little louder on this one. We'll see once I get going. I want to say that I did actually. Hold on. We'll see. I know it was up and down because of some of the loud noises, but yeah. So this one's been cool so far. I mean, if you're into this surreal kind of dream journey, stuff like Miserere and all that is. This is a nice blend of that. It's got a bit more actual dialogue and kind of gameplay here and there, but it's still cut from the same cloth. Not enough to make it kind of unique. Well, if I'm real with you, just more stuff in the same vein is cool to me. Yeah, if you're not familiar with this type of thing, which would be weird if you're watching, like I'm part of this, or somehow we're. I mean, I guess this isn't for YouTube, but chances of people jumping in this quickly are pretty low. But might as well say something on it, anyways, right? Edie. Yeah, the idea with this Miserere and stuff is somebody who's icicle fruit. Yeah, okay. Getting lucky. Eventually we won't be so lucky, but it's usually somebody's in some kind of dream state. They go in and out of their dream from like a central area and kind of travel around. And it's usually very surreal, and you're just kind of going in between serene or just, you know, horrific or just whatever, just all sorts of different environments. Kind of try to find interactables or not. This game specifically is about a guy or gal, I don't remember, or whatever. That is been alone on a space station for 12 years. Oh. Near the center of the universe, or the galaxy, I guess. A washing machine. Okay. And they're like super bored generally. And since they've been alone for so long, things are getting kind of weird. So they spend most of their time dreaming. But their dreams are starting to get a little odd. And you can explore the space station. And things are starting to kind of change. Along with the dream world, maybe. But yeah, it's just kind of a very... This is a cute little setup, you know. Does it have something to do with this person kind of being alone for so long, mentally deteriorating, or maybe it's like, you know, more tied to maybe where they are, or maybe something else. Maybe even like the state of the station, stuff like that. I mean, obviously that setup is cute, but the big appeal is where we came in. Let me double check. Obviously, the big appeal is the dream worlds and the surrealism. We've been to all of these yet? Oh, wait. So this game has a bit more items you need to actually go use on stuff. Humanity is about just kind of finding interactables, like powers, and then kind of just sort of using them. Not really a whole lot of stuff you use shit on, like an adventure gamey way. So, I imagine at some point this one will have to wonder what the fuck's going on, but iron key. Cool. Game comes with the walkthrough made by the developer though, so if we kind of go through all the dreaminess and or at a point where the atmosphere kind of, you know, too much more time spent would kind of ruin it, we can consult and kind of get, you know. Didn't do that with Yuminiki, but that one never really got old. Let's get out of here though. Keep going left, eventually we'll get out. It worked before. At least I think it did. Maybe not. Going right. So this one also uniquely, compared to the few of these I've played, some of the bigger projects in this style are like Yumetsuki, where it's like a community-made amalgamation of stuff, and I think that'd be really cool to get into. I just need to be in the zone. It was a little larger, but already tried messing with it. And we can teleport out anytime. And since this is a really small project, I mean, probably, you know, I mean, I don't think it's ever for sale or anything. We'll be seeing a lot of, you know, possible assets from other stuff. We saw this yesterday, but I don't remember where it led. Oh, yeah. Wrong with going back over it a bit. They gave us a shortcut after all. That went pretty far. This was the cauldron. Didn't figure out anything to do with the, a lot in here. I don't know if that AC is on one. I'll go mess with it in a minute. Oh yeah, we found the chapel. I think that was where we stopped. It was, you can get a shortcut to it from the Nexus. Who is this? I actually turn up my bass volume a bit. I think I actually had it on. And then I tuned it. What else is over here? Let's go this way first. We can always come back to the chapel. These kinds of things are always interesting too because they're going for so much surrealism. You can have like really odd assets clashing and like if it's cohesive enough, it can I mean, obviously there's probably magic to do it. Put it together quite right. And there were none. Anything to interact with here? Maybe we can do something to these pigs eventually. I regretted it yesterday because there was like a couple loud noise balanced like shit. I'll take my chances. I want to be able to hear the ambience and the music well. Indentation in the shape of a cross. Maybe we get that from the chapel. Although it's not like it has to make sense, considering the kind of game we're playing. Cool song. I don't mean this in a negative way, but I wonder what it's from. Oh, good. Okay. I see what's happening here. That's why it's been so quiet. It's just that this game does pull from other shit. A nice song, so I'd be kind of curious to know. Devil is just a tired human. We go left and right. The art gallery. I wonder if we've already been in there. Over there. Yeah. I guess we just never interacted with it. Maybe we didn't. crazy. A lot of the areas interlink a lot in this. Key. Not the iron key, though. Hello. Okay. Maybe that's the key for what we saw down at the bottom right. Ominous. I was hoping we'd get a market top of the mall moment. Can you make the best song? These. What in the fuck? That was weird. Jesus fucking Lord. God, I wish you could turn the sound effects down on this. Maybe there's some way, like a INI file. Super loud, man. Alright, we're going back. I realized the error of my ways, man. Be glad that I have this shit compressed. That was like, Jesus fuck, times 5 fucking volume here. Loud noises are not scary. It's just a primal fucking reaction to being surprised, man. I don't think it's even trying to do that. I think it just has really loud sound effects. It's fucking Lisa, the painful Holiday, or the joy, Lisa the first, excuse me. God, I hated that. Like the worst shit, having to do all those like dodges in Lisa. We made it out. I could have just woke up though, really. Well, something has changed. I mean, I have dull arms and dull head. I wonder if that's like a meta goal. Anything change? Yeah, it's a great song choice for being in the space station alone after all the crazy dreams. I think having that contrast of like craziness caused by it, or you know, just the kind of cause and effect possibly works well. Then you kind of get a little sympathy for how they might end up kind of having the dreams. That twinges him a little bit. You mean Nikki kind of end loads that. Kind of recontextualizes it a bit. I really like how that ends. I don't think it doesn't feel to me like it's just for shock or anything. Kind of feels more like it's, you know, the mix of like loneliness and like no rest in your dreams. Just either they're caused by a fucked life or they're causing a fucked life you can't live with. Kind of succumbing to it a bit. I think it's pretty intense. I mean, spoilers for Yume Nikki. I'm going to talk about a lot, but she jumps off the fucking building at the end of it once you finish everything. I always thought that kind of really put a kind of nail on like what it, maybe not exactly what it was trying to go for theme-wise. I mean, there's a lot going on, but kind of gives it a context where it's like, it's not just like, hey, these are just cool little dreams. You know, they are interesting, but you know, there might be something, a root to it, or you know, that, you know, kind of leans more into like a horror kind of like fuck nature to the dreams, right? Like it's an escape, but it's also like probably more consuming in like a bad way, right? Anyways, what was this one? here. Did not see that interact point. It kind of gives like a narrative punch to kind of make you think about the dreams in a certain context, or in any kind of context than just being just raw dream surrealism for its own sake. Which I mean is still really cool. So it's a vibe and atmosphere. Oh. This one that front loads it a bit more, right? Yeah, this person's already in kind of like a possibly pretty fucked state, being on like a, you know, solar system or a space station. Alone for 12 years. Near the center of the galaxy. You know, that last part matters because there's some context there. There's definitely enough media about being near the center of like the galaxy that kind of like could have some, you know, effects. So, one of the cool things about this in Humanity, and I would say this leans more into the dot flow side of things, because I know Humanity fan game, is that this isn't just horror, right? Dot flow is a lot more like raw horror. Humanity is very like mixed. The surrealism is pretty. It's all over the place. I mean, generally, kind of as you get deeper in, it leans more into like the horror and stuff. This definitely has that. I would say it leans a little more into the horror vibe. I mean, it is just a lot darker, even in the space station, but got good variety to kind of offset it. Find friend. Need a friend for him. Maybe I need to bring the doll fully made. Like this area I wouldn't say is like happy, but the music is a bit more. Definitely not trying to spook you. These Castlevania enemies, yeah, I'm pretty sure these are like straight acid. Cool. Like some of these scrolling ones. Great paint. I've been here before. from that particular angle. The sniffer, dude. King Cud. Everything you imagine is real. Right, this guy. Bit in here. Sure. I want to say it led to the green place. Which I do want to check out, but wait. Glad there's not a lot of one-ways either. Don't really want to be stuck. Easier to check for connections. Dude, that sound. That was a World of Warcraft. Or maybe Warcraft 3, I guess. Lightning sound. Unless that's just very similar. More sacrifice. The fruit we put here. I don't know if that got us anything. Not that it has to. This game does have like progression. Sure, this is how we got here in the first place? Or did it connect? Might have been that ballroom castle type of area. Yeah, there's certainly more to check out. These guys don't have anything going on. Other than existing. Alright, let's mess around in that green area. We do have a warp to it. I don't remember where that bone connects to. Maybe I should check this first. This was the have an iron key. puzzle. Then you go back with this. It's easy to get back. I wasn't expecting anything we had to put any thought into. That kind of just freeballing it. And it's kind of hard to see where they would even get pushed. This one? Well, not many options other than this. Force field disruptor. There you go. I want to hear this song. Not going to be here long enough. Well, considering the game and, you know, how large it could be, let's go ahead and just use this force field disruptor where I know where to use it. Better to get things so that we have them in case we need them elsewhere. Then to explore everything and then start knocking the pieces together. It's easy to get to. Okay, I fucked up. Good to know. Gotten killed once before. Cross. There's a place to use this. If I can remember. Whoa. I've been crossed. We saw it recently. I've seen so much, I don't remember the exact path. But we'll get there again. I can't sneak under these guys for shit. Be very careful. Assuming there's not some special thing you need to... Okay, he kind of goes. I wonder if there's something you need to take care of these guys. Definitely there's stuff over there. Also is here. Alarms. Neat, huh? It's kind of want to be this a contrast for sure. I don't know why I thought of Zelda's Adventure all of a sudden. It might be the background. It's like a real mineral or something. Like a roach? Something to interact with here. There doesn't always have to be a proof. I can get you by aiming up. Guess if he just happens to want to look up. doll torso, I imagine. We haven't explored that entire place yet. God. Bottom right and top left here. Long as we're not getting to this guy, not waiting a bunch. Across. Nothing here. So there's a secret. Bottom right. Man, I wish I remembered where that cross was. I mean, there's lots of crosses, but like, maybe it was on the... Was it past the opera? I'll have to check. That's it. That I always have. Yeah, there's like little bits of shit seeping in here. I kind of like that. Maybe his dreams aren't quite just dreams, or maybe he's losing his shit. Or maybe something else. It's subtle. A little bit of ice out here. Different statue. Hell, I don't even 100% know what's happening. Or if I just am misremembering it. That kind of subtle. Enough to want to check though. Alright, the cross. That was recent. Here. I want to say no. I think it was farther back. There is shit to check out. Was it with the stone heads? Well, let's fuck around in the green place a little more. Like I've been here. Yeah. Where it goes. I can wave. Love hearing that Penumbra song every time. It's a great song. Penumbra's cool too. You guys have never played them. Like I said, it's the Amnesia People's original trilogy. In some ways, I kind of like it better than the first Amnesia, but it also has its stuff. But you can kind of see the DNA of what they kind of continue to hash out or branch into different ideas, right? Like the bunker is a bit more in the gameplay, immersive sim style. That number has a bit of, Amnesia has a bit of, you know, Soma and Rebirth are a bit more the story elements. Number's got a bit of both. They're all kind of the roughness. You know. Cool to you know. Really, they're just a good dev. I mean, most of their shit's pretty awesome. Especially the bunker and Soma, in my opinion. I'm not as into the first Amnesia, but it's obviously super influential. Still cool. What's the cross? Somewhere around here. Oh. Whoa. Old man Moss, dude. What the fuck is he doing here? I don't remember how we even get to him. First maybe. Kind of fucking surprised, to be honest. Go back here. What's the purple bit stuck in their side? They all have that. Where is it go? Okay. I need to figure out where the cross. There's probably areas that haven't been. We saw it not that long ago. Tides. Art gallery. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check the opera. Yeah, we can. This is the easiest way there. This is not quick. We'll go this way. It's not. At least I kind of know. Just because this hallway is really long. Best place again. Alright, so the quicker way here would actually... I don't know, actually. It might still be this way. I mean, that long hallway is really... But I'm pretty sure it's up here. I just don't remember exactly what was after the opera, despite us just being there. Just... You go through so many areas, and there's no sense to how they're connected. And I'm trying to remember yesterday's show. I saw the cross today, for sure. It's supposed just to be like a bow. Did the lights turn on here before? I don't think they did. Okay, well. The show starts soon. Going back. I wonder if there's a lot of RNG chance stuff in this. Just for your viewing pleasure, right? We've seen a few like creatures who just spawn and all that. Could be flag space too. There was RNG stuff like that in Miserere. Up. There another button. Hold on. RPG Maker keybinds. DBX. Generally, what this guy says in the forums. Keybinds are. Check the walkthrough on this because I'm worried that it's going to be I'm worried it's going to be like a keybind problem. No. Typing show didn't work. Or arrow into the walkthrough. I don't want to spoil myself. Yeah, that's the problem with playing some like Giga Obscure. Well, let's hope I just don't know how to solve it, and it's not a problem with keybinds and stuff. So, okay. Okay. Up. Holding up. Spammed it enough. Oh, if I keep spamming it. Does that just mean I have his approval? Weird. Are you not allowed to leave until you get his approval? Or it's just a random event? I don't know. Maybe that's what the arrow's supposed to be. Maybe a thumb would look too cheesy. And they went with an arrow, but arrow kind of makes me think of direction, especially in a four-way movement game, so. Pretty sure we've been here before, though. Maybe the cross was in the art gallery. Yeah, I was just looking for keywords in the built-in walkthrough and just nothing there. I remember right, there was not a whole lot going on inside the art. First. I'm pretty sure the bottom right was its own thing. Where was it? Go through this. that. This thing? It might have been in this room somewhere. The cancer room. I want to say it wasn't, but you know, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I don't remember what all we needed there. Maybe nothing. What's up, Rocky? Where was it? I'm trying to find a place to put a cross. No choice. Well, it'll be a learning experience, I guess, huh? Either it's entertaining or not. Yeah, that's sadly pretty common. Not like you guys are getting paid. I mean, I guess you're paying them, but a lot of people that seems to not matter much. They half-ass it. But I mean, some people just half-ass through life, I guess. So. Hopefully they can put in the bare minimum that you can just pass and move on with your life. As long as your grades don't hinder your future outlook for some reason. Might be worth going back to the first though. It was our hard heads, and I know I am, so I kind of just don't push too hard, but this is one of them, and I just don't think it has good taste. Oh, yeah. Hard heads as in like stubborn or not as willing to compromise, yeah. Especially if it's something people are passionate about. Maybe that's supposed to be part of the lesson or something, yeah. Yeah, and some people just yeah, they do just have bad ideas, man, or bad taste, like you said. Actually, I gotta go see if I can interact with this flower. I just hope they put in the work regardless. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, alright, you know. I would rather learn the skills needed for like proper like, compartmentalizing of like group stuff or compartmentalizing, whatever. You kind of have to work in a more, you know, each person does one thing kind of way. So, than actually just getting along. I guess that's a skill too. I started this one yesterday, just for like an hour or two. The vibe game, and I quite enjoy those types of games. It's, I guess I would call it a Yume fan game. It's definitely its own thing, but it's heavily inspired by Yume, which is a pretty influential kind of surreal horror RPG maker game. Free on Steam. Old Japanese one. The idea is in this game, you are some guy who's been alone on a space station near the center of the galaxy for 12 years. So whether or not his mind is deteriorating, it's hard to say exactly because he's also in a weird place. But he goes to his dreams kind of for escape, I suppose. There's something to do. And his dreams are starting to get a little fucking weird. So it's kind of us just going to sleep and exploring his sort of dream world. And kind of progressing. Yume Nikki, the game it's inspired by, is about a girl who lives in this apartment and you go to, you know, go to bed. Spend all your time going to bed and just exploring this like super surrealist thing. Real good. It's been good. This one's very niche. I don't know if I've heard of it anywhere really. I saw it in like one thing. That's where I jumped into it. This was made like 13 years ago. I don't even know if the dev posts anymore anywhere, but yeah, it's cool. There's some assets here and there that are from other stuff, right? I'm sure more than I even know, but I mean, it's a free little thing. So. And the surrealism and all that, you can kind of have these weird mixed assets and stuff, and it kind of just lends itself to the oddness. I'm gonna wake up here. Yume Nikki's more about kind of just exploring the thing, and you kind of collect little powers or costumes and stuff. This is a bit more adventure gamey, where you're kind of, instead of the powers, you'd be collecting items, and then you need to use them on stuff. But otherwise, it's very similar. Maybe leans a little more into the horror. There's other fan games that go much harder into the horror aspect. Having a blend is good. This is the space station. Slowly things are starting to change. Whether things are their mind or not, who knows? Try to go back and figure out where to put this cross. I've seen it. I've seen the place, but I can't remember where. The nature of the game being so bizarre and kind of all over the place. Sometimes it can be tough to piece things together. It's just part of the idea usually on these games. You're kind of lost in a disjointed dream world. If there's anything with the just be here. The finger. I mean, I know I didn't go through the first area. Yeah. Can't be connected to that. Because everything's connected in really weird ways. I have to just go back through shit. Haven't been writing notes or anything. Don't really need it. This game actually comes with the walkthrough from the devs, but only when the atmosphere is taking a hit would I whipping out the walkthrough. It's just not the kind of game. Yeah, where did it go? Where's the bone again? I'm pretty sure we already did that. Oh, this is where the church is. God, where did that one thing go? I'm gonna go back to the opera. That area. This door. What is it? He doesn't even have an interact point. This would lead to the first zone. No, I guess it leads to all sorts of shit. Maybe it was in here. Just don't look. Because she's a vegan, or is it? And like we're getting warmer. Where did the pigs go? That's cute. So there used to be like pig men walking around in there, now they're meat. Little details. Weird. What the fuck did that do? Who the fuck was he? I mean, he was like in my way, I guess, but that's a mess. Huh. Wonder if something changed elsewhere. Oh, this. Okay. Change here? Probably not. Yeah, but RPG Maker's kind of been a breeding ground for cool horror for a really long time. A lot of them are story based, like and some were kind of big in like the old PewDiePie YouTube type of days, right? Howdy and Ib and all that stuff. I feel like a lot of those are spawned from kind of Lisa, first Lisa games, like a Yume type of thing. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool RPG Maker horror stuff. A lot of it's pretty obscure. Probably a lot to find out there. There's some big ones for sure, and a lot on Steam. We don't have to do many. We're going through this event. I have a lot we could go through. Huh. What does it mean? Hoping maybe I just had to come back in and something would change. Maybe something's changed elsewhere. It's kind of like what I've said with like really low fidelity point and click adventure games. is like there's a lot more to the imagination, right? You're not seeing every little pulsating beat, right? There's kind of like a, I don't know, I think it's part of that low fidelity, part of it being so not real, like reality also, right? Like this is a very abstract thing compared to like just walking around, right? You know, you can a lot of other games, so like a different kind of horror vibe. That's why it works with surrealism pretty well. Yeah. I mean, I guess the human mind just kind of works that way, right? Like, I mean, not like you just react to like stimuli that are more based in reality. I mean, there's an immersion level there, but there's a certain, you know, an amount of action versus like an amount of, you know, fidelity and just like that viewpoint, the 2D, like, kind of isometric. I mean, there's just like, it's like anything, you know, people like art styles. There's a particular blend. I'd have to think on it more on how to describe like an RPG Maker horror thing. Well, like anything though, it could just be, you know, execution based, right? Yeah, that's why like Lovecraftian horror can be sometimes hard to kind of get going because Lovecraftian kind of horror works more in like in his actual stories and not showing you things, but kind of describing what's happening to the person or what's happening in a very controlled viewpoint, you know, like out of sight or behind you or something. You know, that's a little harder to pull off when you have control of the visuals and stuff. So there's kind of like elements of the lack of control, like lower res shit, stuff like that. I think it works with surrealism in this game's case just because you can have it be so mixed on how things are looking at. You can have realistic photos right next to like a pixel art thing and it kind of like it's an odd look, but like that's kind of like what it's designed around. Well, we have this iron key. I kind of want to know what it's about. Let's go back to some of the first areas. Yeah, there's a lot of good horror stuff. I don't know. I don't really go to get scared. It's kind of more. Guys here. It's more just the kind of tone, themes, art styles that kind of come with horror, right? I think only a couple games this month have I had like any kind of tense, right? But you know, I mean, I don't mind being like afraid or something like that, but it's not the goal. You know, I put horror till Halloween, but it's more like spooky themed things, dark things. It could be comfortable in a way. Times the spooky stuff, right? Yeah, there can be that anxiety, that tenseness, you know, the dread or something, right? But I mean, I can get that in like Subnautica or even the Outer Wilds sometimes, right? The unknown and the vastness of things and, you know, scale and shit like that. That can do it too. That can trigger the monkey, man. It kind of just depends. I'm definitely not into jump scare stuff. That's just triggering like some primal response in you. It's hardly something that I would call like, you know, you're not remembering that later on. You're not like, wow, man, I really wish I could just get jump scared again, right? Like, like you think back on it, you know, in some kind of way. It can be fine, right? I mean, it is a like quick, cheap reaction, but I don't know. I kind of like stuff that it's more difficult, but can blend atmospheres and gameplay and all that kind of stuff a bit more to give you something more, even if it's not. Crisis of Fate. Folklore. Alright, kind of plot there. This room was not here before. There's a lot of books on hags and spooky women and witches. Anything there with that, or kind of? It's more about things that prey on people dreaming. That's probably more the idea. Happen to be a lot of that, right? Anything else changed? I've mentioned it a few times, but you know, in regards to like, using kind of assets from other stuff. This song's from Penumbra, right? The people who made Soma made Penumbra. So there's little stuff like, it's just like a free game, right? It's a great song, so it fits. Sense. And a lot of good fan games or kind of little freebies will kind of piece together stuff, right? You don't really look at them in the same context as you do like kind of a kind of monetary release sort of deal. And I mean, maybe the Penumbra one's from something else. Not weird. Alright, so that was interesting. Need to figure out where to use this iron key. Did we explore all this? I don't remember where anything is. This guy again. Seen you around, motherfucker. Where did this go? Loud noise. Or is that in a different area? Been down there before. I don't remember. I don't think it led to anything that I needed a key for. Yeah, there was. Loud. I don't know what that sound is. Only here. Yeah, it seems like the goal is to put together this doll. I might even know where I need to bring it. There's this guy who wants a friend. But if I've been here, I don't. Yeah, there you go. Who the fuck was that? Paper. Black box. Shit. That's much more vague than an iron key. I really don't. Keep going and hope we see something else. Girl Scouts found a guy creeping in the basement. What a random article. Does that have something to do with something? One sec. Hey, take a piss. Alright. anything to this area? Have a seat in the more fancy. Okay. The doll torso. Oh. Yeah. I like the little city backdrop here. It's an interesting feeling, being like completely alone in some kind of really like rough place, but then like some kind of sign of like scale on the back. That makes it feel like even more, kind of more lonely, more solo. Spooky or like being small or just magnitude. Not even necessarily like spooky, it's kind of like unsettling, just odd vibe. I don't know. What in the fuck? I guess it didn't matter. I got out. We can go back there eventually, maybe. Go ahead and well, turn in is one way to put it, but see if we can do anything with these dolls. We might have to somehow put them together. Not really sure how that would work. Maybe the cauldron. I gotta remember how to get to all this though. Let's try the guy first. I think he was connected to this. Latch with no handle. All feels familiar. Oh. Changed how I sleep. We could go to the other bed. The bed that's in like a fucking like maintenance room. Wouldn't call that a nice night's sleep. Sleep. Maybe we need to change something on one of the machines. Stuffed animal. This was not here. Sorry, I had to mute my brother. I mean, yeah, we could sleep here now that we have a horrific stuffed animal. This would be an interesting way to have a different set of dream worlds. Have a different bed. You don't ever have to go back to the other ones, I guess. You're having more of an actual progression. Makes sense to kind of not make it too open. Kind of like a bishop's net. Because even if there is an ending, you can kind of just stop whatever the fuck. You just kind of don't want to be vibing. Okay, we've only got one option right now. We go. This is soundful music. Immediately, dude. I mean, good music's nice. Definitely not picking anything that would be well hidden. And not that it needs to be hidden, but like it draws attention to itself a little bit. But such a good song, it doesn't matter. The penumbra and Silent Hill aren't exactly unknown quantities. Totally not. Like this is just not the kind of game where it's like there's a problem. You just notice it. Are we gonna get some story now? Please God, don't be mad. Okay, I just don't want to ruin it. Who is Carrie? Totally fine with them trying to throw like a narrative into this type of game they want. Or just a little bit of like, context. Kind of make you think about maybe a grander mystery of the character. But with that comes the risk of like fucking the writing being taken out of it, shitty, or kind of taken away from the strength. Seems fine so far. I mean, they've had such a good job about the surrealism and the flow between it. Not like too much dialogue. This is the song. How's it go? An actual Silent Hill thing. Game turned into a literal Silent Hill fan game. That'd be fun. It just wouldn't make sense as one Silent Hill doesn't get into this level of surrealism. It's a bit more cohesive. The spider. Beast with 1,000 eyes. That's lost. My brother has this poster in the living room. Doesn't have a 2 on it though. 2 for 1,000. Three. 3, 1, 2, 4. What's up? Wonder if that's a combination. just like more Silent Hill music. Is that a Silent Hill sound effect? Almost reminds me of Echo one. Horror movie. What does it mean to have so many horror movies here? See if they can pass with them. This is kind of fun. Toluca Lake. I don't know. Oh, I have to remember the fucking. Who? Let me write them down. Voodoo Woman is 3. I'm gonna do this. Oh no. Or I could just take a picture. Even easier. Alt tabbing the monitor capture is really fucked. Question is, will it give us some kind of big meta twist answer to something? Or is it going to be retain some kind of ambiguity, surrealism? We'll see. The Brain Eaters. Brain Eater here. It's a zombie, really. A zombie. Voodoo Woman. I feel like this is voodoo. Aliens. Dracula. Brain, though? The Brain Eaters? This thing? Brain Eaters. Let's try that. Voodoo. Maybe it's that it's on her eyeball in the Brain Eaters. Oh wait, no, voodoo. Maybe zombies bottom right. Frisbee ass fucking computer. I feel like we're exploring a much more real area. Like, it's still obviously like kind of horror and a little abstract, but it's much more grounded than the last bits. Well, if the different bed just kind of means a different gameplay style, or if it means kind of maybe getting closer to something to actually do with them. I mean, all the horror movies might just be, we're just in some abstract thing, and all there is to it. And if we're supposed to believe our guy's like, maybe sees things this way because he's like tied to like horror movies in some way. Oh, I know it. Where I used to live. Mother. He lived in the sewer. Fake old. There's that safe earlier. I also have this black box. And I couldn't tell you on the black box. New. Pathetic. Sounds familiar too. I can't put my finger on it though. wonder if he credits each game, each song. I'd be interested to know where some of these are from. I mean, they're not original. This is a vibe though, I like it. Let's move on. Gold. Break them down if you want it, then why don't you? He doesn't want to. So far they've always prompted me. Sealed liquid. You know, we never did fully find out what was up with that cauldron. I wonder if there is something to find out. We'll check the walkthrough later to see if there's some kind of hidden ending. Actually, I'm gonna wake up. I'm curious to see if anything's different. Said he lived in the sewer with Mother. This is the part. mutants in the sewer. These are fake, but assuming we're supposed to believe that he's actually in a dystopian or, you know, far-flung future. Carrie is the hero of terror. Everything kind of just, I mean, maybe it's some kind of commentary on media or something. Our guy's dreams were full of psycho shit. Consume a lot of crazy stuff, or just losing it. I mean, if we're supposed to believe it, like he actually lived in a sewer, and there's mutants, and all sorts of animals are extinct, and this is some space station in the center of the galaxy. I mean, that he is a mutant or something possible. But I feel like maybe we're supposed to get a little symbol. I mean, all the Silent Hill references and shit. Yeah, our usage of, you know, Silent Hill assets. Something that very commonly deals in the symbolic, and we'll see. Yeah, how symbolic is it, man? She killed his mother. Mutants are in the sewers. Maybe he's like a sewer mutant thing. But again, I mean, could be just totally out of it. Maybe he imagines some kind of thing that happened to him. What does that mean? How do you explain a space station too? We'll see, I don't know. It's just craziness. We're supposed to activate them all, maybe? Maybe we activate it when she's about to go for it. That would make more sense. Give her a lick. Seems totally RNG. Oh, something's happening or not? We have to activate both of them? Or there's just a particular timing? Weird ass fight. Terribly intuitive. There's not much you can do. Get it eventually. I don't even know what these things are. Anyways, mushrooms or something. Phases that they don't look like they even attack. They just kind of gently come out and give a couple licks. And you kind of have to wait for her, so. But it's pure RNG means there is a lot of waiting. Since I'm the lucklet. Jesus, the song's ended, man. It's kind of bad. I'm just waiting. As soon as I go this way. You just like not go for the one you're at or something? It's probably just pure RNG. Probably not the best thing to have it be. Alright, hitting her again here, but like you have to hit with bolt or something. Okay, you still get hit there. Yeah, very iffy here. It's definitely the worst part of the game. I mean, it doesn't kill it or anything, but the RNG waiting around and then needing to also still be pretty quick in a game where there's like no execution is kind of. It's a choice. It's a bad choice, but it's okay. Not a huge deal. Not really hard. It's just kind of like a jank. Like, because your guy doesn't turn like immediately. Like, there's like a timing to it. Jesus, weird though. Doing both isn't necessary, but. Doesn't mean I could try to get to one of these ahead of time and then run from the center. So maybe we could speed it up. That was maybe supposed to be the intent originally or something, but it kind of ends up being a little weird, so. Still gotta wait around a bit. We never got into Uboa Chanda. Uboa. We never got into that one safe in this side of the dream world. There might be a lot to read into there. I'm not quite sure. Either I'm supposed to take it serious that he's like some kind of mutant thing that for some reason is in a space station, maybe not a space station. Interesting. Let me check the walkthrough. Definitely not as a clear cut answer. You take the sealed liquid into the cauldron. We could go do that. I'm kind of curious. Maybe it'll add a little context. Okay. Says there's a cutscene. Can I remember where the cauldron was? It was a ways away. I can say that. It was in the place with the little dudes, man. Fuck. I can see the place in my mind. I just don't know how to get there. Oh, maybe this walkthrough would actually tell me. Okay. West and a bit down. The blue orb. I don't know what I do with the black box. Yeah. Okay. Maybe Like Harry did kill his mother and then he left? How did he get away and end up on the space station though? Black box, let us know. They wasn't on a submission. Interesting. Oh, Godo? Oh, Godo. Sleepy. I feel you, man. Ooh, the storm. I had a little storm earlier. Nice. I haven't been on this for very long. I actually already reached credits, but kind of grabbing some stuff. Okay, we have to give King Cud the black box. Okay, it's kind of cute. We're getting a little bit more context, I guess, from exploring every little thing. I'm glad the built-in walkthrough is here. Like I said, the game is an unknown, essentially, so... Well, enjoy your night, buddy. I'll probably start something else after this. I didn't get Pokemon in the mail. A lot of what I want to start is kind of mouse and keyboard, but I don't know. It's comfy, just kind of chilling. I don't know if I really want to swap. Maybe I'll do something else. I'm gonna get you a little streamy watch and Pokemon sleep combo, nap combo. What was the point of giving him that? Maybe it opens up something in the real world or wherever the fuck we were. Hmm. The black box had to do something. Unless you were supposed to do the black box. And the trigger, the flag just isn't necessary. I'd assume it doesn't change the end. Huh. Let me read through this walkthrough and see if there's anything weird. Maybe it was just to be nice to him. What about that safe? I don't see anything in here. I'm gonna check that safe one more time and then I guess that'll be it. Oh, there's nowhere to do anything. Okay. Alright. 1 sec. Well, okay. That was Miserere. There's it has an actual meaning like Latin or something. Let me double check. Thought I saw it somewhere. Means Latin for have mercy, have pity, or feel compassion. Yeah, so I like this one. I thought it was cool. I think the ending and stuff is fine. There's some stuff to dig into there. I think it's maybe less symbolic than it seems. Why things were appearing in his space station that he didn't remember putting there. Maybe he was just forgetting they existed. There's like an entire room, right? And you know, there was an icy area and stuff that kind of popped up, and you know, maybe you're supposed to kind of think about it a little bit, like, you know, if even what he's seeing is quite real, or maybe not. But I mean, the whole story with maybe him being like a mutant or something, living in a sewer, and then the mom killed by the lady, the hero lady or whatever. Maybe there's something there, you know, because it is some kind of future thing. How he would leave, how he left Earth to come here and just kind of spend his time. Yeah, that all works out. Obviously, his like fear for her, assuming she's real, partially twisted his dreams. But yeah, I don't know if there's a symbolism there. It's one of those, like, it kind of tells on. Maybe because of the doubting of like your viewpoint, maybe something that's symbolic or draped in kind of something we can't quite memories absorb. They had a lot of folklore about like dream eaters and stuff like that. Succubus and hags and stuff. Maybe it's all supposed to be his fear of that girl or whatever. Yeah, I don't know if the place we saw was maybe somewhere he worked or just was at also, the horror movies. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that part of the story. There's stuff to kind of play with there. I'm not like super crazy on that. But I really liked the dreamy stuff. I thought they did a really good job of like not having the story be overbearing with those parts. They all kind of just blend into each other, and there's like, you know, it's not too tedious. There's lots of exits from some of them to other ones, and they even, you know, will add teleporters or cut some off when you go to the other dream worlds and the other bed. And it's kind of a cute way if you're gonna have it be more adventure gamey with like usable items to kind of play with them. You know, there's lots of side stuff and random events and shit. Kind of like a little bit more horror oriented, but not like a dot flow. It's kind of in between somewhere that and like a Yumeniki, where there are these kinds of like abstract, serene kind of places, but then there's also kind of dark horror stuff. I think it definitely leans a little more into the horror, but it's not like 100%. And I think that's kind of what gives a nice bit of variety. In creative areas, definitely you're always kind of just interested in what's going on. Not really like overtly labyrinthian or hard to get around in. I mean, it can be like that sometimes. I liked the setup. I thought that was kind of neat. I wish they kind of played into some of that more in an abstract way. You know, he's in a, you know, near the center of the galaxy and, you know, 12 years alone on some space station. You know, it's like, is he there? Or when you come out, do you need to go out and fuck with the space station a little bit? Maybe go outside, you know, start second guessing things. Are you decaying while real things are happening? You know, learn more about kind of their life a bit. And you do learn about some of that in the dream world. The dream world are like the big stuff is, but you know, you come out so you can kind of a little pace breaker. palette cleanser maybe. So they did some stuff with it. They definitely didn't just like leave it. It was mostly kind of just things happened in the dream and light effects on, I guess, reality. And then he just went back into the dream. And yeah, there's definitely, I think there was there's an ambiguity, a surrealism maybe that I would have preferred in like an ending that tied into like a reality a little bit more. So like a more reality in a way, but like with more like a surreal kind of bow on top of it. But I think they kind of wanted to tell a not completely upfront story, because the nature of the game kind of makes you question whether that's even upfront. Maybe it's supposed to seem upfront. When you put like 10 Silent Hill songs in a row right before it, I'm gonna start doubting stuff like that, right? So yeah, it was cool. It was a nice blend of like music I knew from Silent Hill and like Penumbra, some other stuff. I couldn't put my finger on all of it. Good music choice. I think they really kind of made a lot of the areas feel evocative, and it was kind of something Nikki did well, right? You know, just because it's like a horror area or like a weird area, you know, the music might be off kilter, tonally a little different, and it gives it a very different vibe, a very surreal vibe. You know, it isn't, you know, I mean that is like this fucking like crazy, you know, the amount of areas and the variety, and I think how it kind of just cinches it with a simple ending is tough to beat, but it's a really solid Humanity inspired fan game for sure. It was way better than I expected. I don't know what I was expecting. Like I said, I barely have seen this thing even exist. I don't remember where I heard about it. That like maybe on like a Humanity fan game wiki thing. I'm not even sure on that. And all it said was like that it's a maybe Humanity-ish, but with a little bit more of like a character and story. And I was like, oh, that could be really bad, right? You know, like a little fan fiction-y story thing. And I don't think it ended up being fun. I think I kind of really understood the vibe. It still made it its own thing. And, you know, there's some cool new areas, right? I mean, we could do like a Yumetsuki, right, which is just pretty much just raw areas, but you know, there's something like kind of piecing it together in this one instead of just the dream journey, which isn't like a problem. I mean, just the dream journey is kind of the big thing, but kind of like that little bow on top, even if this one's kind of like a deteriorated bow a little bit. It's not quite as tight as how I liked it with the Yumetsuki, where she jumps off the roof or whatever. But, not that that's like I'm not trying to like make that sound like a beautiful thing, but like I think it adds a lot of context and repercussions and kind of makes you think of the dream world in a different way, and about whether her life and stuff was, you know, what was going on there. If she just like went out to work afterwards, right? It's like, who cares, right? But she kills herself is kind of a big part of it for me. In this one, it seems like more of a happy ending, getting over kind of the fears and the hate, and maybe just slowly built up over 12 years alone. Definitely not as elegant in a way, but it was cool. Yeah, so overall, I like this one. It was good. I also just think RPG Maker horror is just neat. I think there's a certain something to low fidelity visuals, or, you know, a viewpoint that isn't like, you know, is tight. Like in reality, I don't look at things in like an isometric weird 2D view. So like to be able to wrap surrealism into like with like mixed assets, like real pictures with like, you know, sprite art and all sorts of stuff, it can make a very strong surrealist kind of vibe to it, an aesthetic to it. So that you could get in obviously something more 3D or first person, but I mean, it's a different feel, right? The mind kind of plays with it a bit. Some of it's like low fidelity, kind of letting your imagination do some work. Some of it's just the way the visuals just kind of just work, you know. It's hard to describe. There's probably a way to describe it, but that's cool. The kinds of scares or kinds of weirdness that it's willing to do, and, you know, A lot of these also RPG Maker ones aren't as focused on like trying to kill you or anything. It's like you kind of existing with these like odd things and entities and stuff. I would say the majority of like crazy RPG Maker horror tends to be more story focused, adventure gaming, kind of like Ib and Aoni and Corpse Party and stuff like that. Those are really cool too, so I like them. Well, I mean, Ib's probably the best of those three by quite a large margin. But you know, like Witches, I think Witch's House is one and stuff. It'd be cool to play some more of those too. God knows there's a lot of super underground hidden ones. Got lucky on this, I feel like. I would like to play some more unknown shit. Just shit that like there's like maybe one or two playthroughs out there, if that. Kind of total blind. Kind of go for a certain vibe. You don't see too often, but yeah, we'll see. This intro does not set up what the fucking game feels like. I don't really know what this intro is about. It's some lights on like a platform with the fucking text, and like this is like I feel like I'm about to start up System Shock. The vocals match when they pop up, the idea of it. Yeah. I guess it kind of helps us get surprised. La Milana 2 room. It definitely does not feel like when you get. That's why when this opened up at first, I was like, we'll see. But the intro's got like a nice setup. You know, the writing doesn't. There's not too much of it. It doesn't feel too like goofy amateur. Not that amateur writing is like necessarily bad, but you know there is that kind of like scuff. Like you know, written a lot. I would probably write something fuck too. I'm not trying to say I wouldn't, but it wasn't too bad. It was enough. They didn't lose the forest from the trees with the writing. Obviously, the dreamy journey is kind of the whole things. Yeah, I definitely think there's a way to kind of like tie the reality stuff with the dreamy stuff in a tighter package without kind of pulling this like maybe larger lore thing necessarily in the drama and all that. There's not much. It's very like just a couple paragraphs of that, right? But it's one of those things with like a game like that where it's like, you know, a little too ambitious with some ideas, right? It's like when you're joking on Godo about like the fucking etchery and Pokemon thing, right? It's like, you know, a little overboard. I don't think this had that in the same magnitude, but you know, I personally probably would have preferred just like a little bit more of the space station stuff, a little bit more of like the questioning of mind loss or not. You know, something more local. Maybe there's like lore to learn about where you came from, like that cutscene. I thought that was interesting. And there's some symbolism there with like the hags and all that stuff. And yeah, I definitely think there's more to chew on here than you'd expect. I liked the journey. I liked the use of the music and the art. And it doesn't really matter that a lot of it's pulled from other stuff. It's like a little fan game. That's just kind of how they work. It's effectively used. You know, it's using some known Silent Hill stuff, but it's not like the theme where it's like really overtly in your face about it, right? You know? Well, some of the more known Silent Hills, but still. It doesn't feel like, you know, like Mario's jumping around or something, right? Like it's like, okay, you know, we're really taking me out of it. You know, it's like a Penumbra song. Right? Penumbra is pretty known, but it's like it's a really good song and it fits really well. Yeah. Anyways, I'd recommend it. If you like Humanity, for sure. No reason not to play it. It's more of that with just enough of a different play on it. The free version. This is like a 13-year-old RPG Maker game, but you can get free versions online. It has a little walkthrough. If you're worried about, you know, not being able to get through it or something, you don't need it. I didn't need it. But I did open it for a couple little side things, just to check them, which you don't need then anyways either. It was about what you'd expect. But it's nice to have. So, yeah. Anyways, that was Miserere. Glad we played it. Glad it was a solid. Good one. I'm also into these types of aesthetic music, kind of fusion, surrealist type of shit, right? I like a lot of like David Lynch, you know. there's a lot of shit gets pretty out there. Yeah. Well, let me look around here. Who's Lila would be good to do, but I need to have mouse and keyboard. You only have a certain amount of time to like adjust his face because you have to create his facial expressions because he can't do it because he's like a sociopath or something. I don't know. And I mean, I don't think it's the kind of game where you gotta execute really well, but I'm gonna be like at a disadvantage sitting in a recliner. So I don't think I want to mess with it. I think Pocket Mirror and Little Goody Two Shoes have elements of horror, but I think they're actually like full ass games and like not short. And I mean, it doesn't need to be super spooky, but I also don't know if it's like I'm gonna play the witch's house. Yeah, they're both Bliss and Rideless had them both. Pocket Mirror first. Okay, that's what I figured. I don't know if I'm gonna do them right now, anyways. I mean, I got like a week left in this month, and we'll be doing Pokemon and um probably Luigi's Mansion. But I mean, I could do more into the next month. Who cares? Could do In Sound Mind. That's more of like a survival horror shooter thing. Supposed to be pretty cool. Pretty original horror thing, but it'd probably take a few days. I'd thought about Thumper because it's supposed to be maybe not horror necessarily, but it's supposed to be pretty like intense. But I don't know how much I want to do like an intense rhythm thing for like a night or a couple nights. Psycho Pomp, Gold, another mouse and keyboard thing. I don't know if I would if it's horror, but it's definitely surreal from the looks of it. Seems pretty cool. Yeah, okay, you gotta do it first. I'll delay it. I could just wrap up the night with the short one. Could do the Music Machine by David Szymanski. The Butcher's Creek, Pony Factory. I've played Pony Factory. Gloomwood, Iron Long. That's supposed to be Dusk, shit like that. Wasn't Iron Long supposed to be pretty good? Isn't Iron Lung pretty much like you spend like 3 hours and then get jump scared kind of game? It's like on sale. It's like 470. I'd always planned on playing it. Um, Growing My Grandpa Doves, Bottom of the Sea one. I've watched so many horror games. I try not to watch really good ones. I usually watch trash, but sometimes like sadly with like Visage and stuff, I get so into it that I just kind of end up seeing the whole thing. Like Visage was really Growing My Grandpa. I never played that. Seems cool. I'm gonna add this to my wish list. Water Womb World. Hmm. No. God, that reminds me. There's a bunch that Akira recommended me that were really bizarre. I probably downloaded like itch.io shit. 15-minute game. Yeah, so. Wait, this is coming soon. What? I thought it was free. Take it down? The fuck? Let me see if it's like in my library already. No. What the hell? Can you just not get this game anymore? No user reviews coming soon. Free. Plastic spouse interrogation. One seems. This one is. Yes. Huh. Let me check the discussions here. Oh, it's on itch apparently. It got taken down. The Steam version's gonna have like new commentary. Download now. You get the OST too. Oh, it's got a bunch in here. Oh, this game. This is the guy. This is the one that Akira told me about. Discover my body. Okay. Yeah. That's funny. It's just the same dev. Maybe we'll go through all this dev's games in one period. I'll do Discover My Body, Discover Our Bodies, Father Turned Me into Trees and Rivers, Touch of Nudity. I mean, that's fine if it's like artistic. I mean, people streamed fucking. People streamed, what's that fucking game called? With the guy in the onesie with the big ass that just came out by Bennett Foddy. That has like donkeys, human donkeys walking around with their dicks, like fucking like 1 foot dicks out. More of a shit post already. So. Then again, that was like big streamers that kind of get away with more. This father turned me into trees and rivers one I can't do. Been on hold. Oh wow, 5 years ago. A lot of these are devlogs. Water Womb World. We can play this one too. It's short. Sounds like you're really good showcase that we play the focus for Shanghai. This game. Content warning, elements of body horror. A tiny game made when I was depressed and thinking about God and the mystical idea of emptiness. It's not very fun. Enjoy. Nice. Sounds like a fucking keeper, dude. Unironically. Alright. Well, we've got a nice collection. I'll wait until we are on mouse and keyboard to do them, but some nice short ones. I'll mention to Akira that we're gonna do them too. He was actually tuned me into this stuff first. I have it. This page is literally bookmarked already. His HIOS. The Well is a $2 horror game based on a poem by H.P. Lovecraft. Hmm. Growing my grandpa. $5, yeah. I'd rather get that on Steam. Maybe I will if we do the whole thing. Apparently he's got this thing called his secret games. He just does like short games for his patrons or something, but he'll release on his deal. Like one's like $2, the other's $5. Maybe we'll do them all. Kind of like what we did with the Slacktro cinematic universe. Well, we could do that David Semensky's whatever, however to say his name game. It's short enough. I don't know if it's like good, honestly. Seems cool. I don't even know if it's like actually spooky. Fuck it. Let's try it. I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna take another piss and then restart the stream here. I'll restart the stream and then we'll. Anyways, if somebody's still watching about the music machine, this is not the entry, the right entry, but whatever. If somebody's still kind of watching about Miserere or something, or you skip to the end of a VOD, I guess. I'd recommend it. Good. You like Yume Nikki. Got its own take. It's some cool worlds. Doesn't all come together in a perfect package, but it's a good time. Alright. And let me start this game actually, and then I'll. Oh, controller's not supported. I swap my setup. I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it. I'll be back. Oh, because the thing is, I might have Pokemon in my house.